Hey, welcome back everybody. Sign here again with another episode of my additional Creatures 2 Creature Spotlight videos. And today, I am going to probably butcher this. Inostrancevia. It's a giant mammal-like reptile, hence the main. There's no real evidence for it evidence for or against it in the fossil record, so why not give it a main, right? So you'll find these things in the redwoods, and if you're on foot, just get the hell away. Honestly, they are horrible. They're carriers for something called Redwood Fever, which is just a nasty, nasty disease. It has 4 total stages. First stage lasts for 15 minutes. And granted, the first stage is the only stage that affects both humans and tames. Humans get all 4 stages, though, which is kind of unfortunate. But, yeah, stage 1 lasts for 15 minutes. And that entire time, you're losing 1 water per second and 2.4 health per second. Which, well, larger tames can survive, and it's not a huge deal, right? But if you get bit by it, you're in trouble already. Now, stage 2 starts after that. That one lasts for 30 minutes. And that is a 0.001 stamina per second drain. So pretty negligible, right? But if you do let your stamina run out, which I would advise not letting happen, you'll start accruing torpor, which is just horrible. Because you're also losing 2 food per second, 4 water per second, and it drains your fortitude stat at 2 points per second. So it makes you more susceptible to hot and cold and everything else. Yeah. Stage 3 starts after that, and it only lasts for 2 minutes. But during those 2 minutes, you're losing 15 health per second, 5 stamina per second, 8 food per second, 8 water per second, 5 points of fortitude per second, and you're gaining 70 torpor per second. On a human, you have 3 seconds until you pass out, and then your food and water drain to nothing. Same with your health, though, too, when you get down to it. I mean, honestly, you just die. Unless there are ways around the Redwood Fever, and I'll probably end up doing a video on how to survive it. Because, well, the fun part happens after stage 4, right? Sorry, I had to scroll down another page there. After the stage 3, you enter the recovery period, which lasts for 1 hour. Now, while this is going on, you have a minus 70% to your defense, minus 50% stamina, minus 50% oxygen. You're draining 2 food and water per second. You have half your fortitude gone, and you're gaining 0.01 torpor per second. So not a huge amount of torpor, but enough, right? And you're going to be weak as hell. You're going to be constantly having to eat and drink, popping stimulant, the whole 9 yards. After that hour is up, though, you gain a permanent buff. This is why Redwood Fever is not the worst thing in the world. It's just pretty nasty to deal with. Afterwards, you get the permanent survivor buff, plus 20% defense, plus 5 health per second, 1 healing, plus 30% stamina, 30% oxygen, 30% melee damage, 30% fortitude. You also become immune to swamp fever and mega rabies. So, all in all, if you are prepared, it is worth getting contracted, or getting that dealt with. Now, onto the creature itself, right? So level 150 tamed up into 225. And, I mean, it's got 4,300 health, a little bit slightly higher than normal. Kind of decent middle-of-the-road weight. Oxygen's not bad. Really not a whole lot to write home about, though, right? Walk speed's not bad. Run speed is actually pretty good, though. I mean, it can chase after something pretty quickly. And it's got a hell of a jump on it. Now, attacks, right? Well, left click is a bite, right? I mean, it's fairly quick. It's very spammable, honestly. Now, right click is a roar, which that roar gains the startled effect. Immediately drains 200 torpor from your target. It's got a 1-minute cooldown, but you can use it to help keep your allies awake, which it helps, right? They're also immune to radiation and redwood fever themselves, because, well, they're carriers of it. So, and They also gain a buff called Cruel Hunter when they're attacking something that is inflicted with Redwood Fever. Increases its damage and defense. So once you bite something once, you're going to just start doing more damage to it and taking less damage from it, which actually makes this creature pretty viable. That, and I mean, the attack speed is through the roof. I mean, compare that to a Rex. And like I said, they're pretty fast. I mean, they've got an excellent jump. And, yeah, I mean, just all sorts of good stuff, really. They're not bad creatures. They're knockout tame. Their saddle was, I believe, level 60. Yep, level 60. And the saddle is actually just fiber, hide, and wood. So, I mean, you can get materials to make that literally anywhere. So, once you tame one up, you're good. You get knocked out of the saddle, you hop off, you actually end up standing on top of the creature, which is kind of nice. You can shoot from the back of it. You can actually shoot from the back of most additional creatures to creatures, which is really, really handy when you get down to it. But, I mean, it's a pretty solid mid-level or mid-game tame. It's just hazardous as all get out if you you get bit. And, you know, good job trying to knock it out. They're fast, and they actually do have a decent amount of torpor. I would not recommend using trank arrows on these. Use trank darts. Get it trapped, knock it out. You got yourself a pretty decent tame. The saddles are really cheap. I mean, and it does weigh a little more than normal, doesn't it? It weighs 30 instead of 20, but it also gives 30 armor. And this is the one made from the engram, not from a blueprint. So, all in all, not terrible. Not to mention they're blue. Well, there are other colors, but most of the ones I've seen are this. I am great. Stuck in the ground. But they're this blue color. So it makes them really easy to spot, which is definitely a help. Now, do you have you don't have a sit command, do you? No, that's a shame. That would be kind of cool. But thank you for coming out. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until the next one, signing out, have fun,